Bumps and bruises, scratches and scrapes, some of the ingredients that a good life makes. But sorrows become success. And as we aim for the top, we will pause if we must, but we will never stop. Welcome to Sim Soul Sessions. Hello there and welcome to Sim Soul Sessions, the safe space to share your stories. Tonight, as we start season 10, I am coming full circle, starting literally where I began at episode 1. Now on that program, along with my dad, this guy was my first guest. And while Dad has been back several times to catch you guys up, he hasn't been back at all. I've asked him to do this in honor of the significance of this season, and I was delighted when he finally, this time said yes, because I've been asking. So in the big chair tonight, my colleague, my friend, your favorite coach, broadcaster, personality, Neville Wentworth Bell, sitting in the chair. How you doing?
I'm good. Give thanks. Thanks for inviting me back. How are you?
I've been inviting you back, but I'm glad you're here now. I am good. Why did you say yes this time?
The same reason I said yes the first time. We're friends. I would do anything for you. And if you think I can help in any way, you're sure. Yeah, I'll be here.
Well, you inspire a lot of people, so your story is very significant.
I try.
And in large part, you are who you are, and people love you because you have shared quite a bit up until this point. So let's just talk through some of the things that you have shared, and maybe look into some other aspects of your life that people don't know about. So you sit here tonight, you are some total of all your experiences from childhood, as an immigrant at one point, love, friendships, Anglicanism, Catholicism, Rastafarianism, and someone who Jamaicans feel they know so well and love so much. But you are such a loner. You are such a, like a lock myself away kind of person. How do you straddle those two people, that larger than life image on screen and the real life, I just want to be alone all the time person?
It's interesting. I was at some fest one year waiting on Berry's Hammond. It was raining and we were just standing there. And there was this lady beside me who I didn't know. And someone asked a question that I didn't hear, and she says, he doesn't eat meat. And then I heard someone say, how do you know? And she says, him tell us everything about him on TV. And then she touched me and says, don't. And I looked at her and I said, you know where I live? And she says, no. I said, you know what kind of car I drive? And she said, no. I said, you know my girlfriend name? And she said, no. And she said, oh, so you just tell us what you want us to. And I kind of just go like that. So, yeah, you are right. I keep my privacy private. I really and truly don't share a lot of things. But because I chat so much, and because I'm always telling stories about my family and stuff, people genuinely think that they know everything about me.
But even not sharing everything, Nev, is that part of yourself that, my God, you will stay in your house and eat bread and cheese 4 days because you just don't want to be outside.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know where it came from. My mother told me that I was a little bit different because as a little boy, if I asked her for some money and she said, what you going to do with it? I tell her I don't want it again. Serious. And she said, what? I say, I'm good. I don't know where it came from. So I'll say something like, Mama, can go down the road? And she said, where you going? I said, just go down the road. And she would say, so you're just going to go down the road and stand up, you know? So I don't know where it came from. But from as long as I can remember, I've kept myself to myself.
Yourself. Funny, because you grew in a large enough family. How many brothers?
I grew with 5.
Right.
In my family. My father had other kids.
Little bit.
Yeah.
And sister.
So I grew with 6 boys and a girl, and I was the last boy, which I never enjoyed.
Right? You've often spoken about your mom, Mabel, who was a disciplinarian, your dad, Sacro, right? tourist transport operator at one point, then train driver at one point.
Train driver, the first before, and then, then he would drive tourists when they came. He carried them on tours. So if a ship came and they had to go to Dunn's River, he was one of the drivers for that.
And growing with all those siblings, whom were very talented, boys are very bright, and you somehow just never thought you measured up. And so there was resentment that you harbored then. I don't know if it's gone away now, but you tried your best just because of that resentment and what you, I think, felt was comparison a lot, to just not be anything like any of them.
Yeah, you know, the more I think about it as an adult, maybe I was just jealous, one, because I did rate them. I mean, they were older than I was. Them used to play good cricket and football. Them did have a girlfriend. And I just wanted to be that. And I wasn't. So I think first I did just jealous. Second, I probably just want a little attention because I wasn't getting that. Now that I think about it. But I certainly did not enjoy being the last boy. I remember going to a party once and saw my big brother. And I won't tell you exactly what he did, but and him run me and say I must go home. And I didn't like that. So I didn't go anywhere that a little boy shouldn't be, but because you're a big brother, it mother carry you. So nothing like that happened. So I've said this before. I really and truly just didn't enjoy being the last boy. And there was one brother who I now think is the greatest person I've ever met in my life. At that time, I hated him.
You hated him?
I hated my brother Russell. I told him this, and I think he knew also, because he was so good, and he was good at everything. I mean, Russell was football captain, cricket captain. He had a record in a 4x1 at Champs. He was the head boy. I mean, he was the brightest man I know, and that's all I heard as a little boy. Why are you not like Russell? Look at Russell studying, and you want to be outside. I mean, they just hate him, you know. But then, you know, the older I got, I realized why my mother was doing it. I didn't like her style at the time, but I understand now why she was doing it. And now we are best friends, and I think he's the greatest person I've ever met.
So you actually, the reason you wear glasses today is because in a bit different, you tell him you couldn't see, you started to kick up rumpus and mischief. It's all in retrospect now. I guess it aligns with what you're saying. You just wanted to be seen.
Yeah, I just wanted to be different. And I can remember the day when I was looking at all of them and I said, how can I be different from them? And I go, so I said, but wait, nobody no wear glasses. So I said, me that.
that was only one way. There are others, and we're going to explore those. We're going to take our first break with Nev. Come back with more on Sim Soul right after this. Back with Nev, everybody on the show. So we're talking about the ways you decided you were going to make yourself different from your brothers who, at the time, you were just not feeling. The glasses were one thing. But is it safe to say you acted like you gave Marbell hell? Is that safe to say?
I was mischievous.
Yeah? School, home?
Yeah, I was mischievous. More at school, because I'm kind of afraid of Mama still. But more at school.
But the school would eventually make it home?
Yeah, because they would call Mom about everything that I did, and she would be at school in 2 seconds after that, you know. So I don't know, because now I don't want to make excuses. I did just want to go play football and cricket and stuff. I was not interested in school. I didn't want to go to school. I did well in the early part of high school, and then I just stopped. And I remember when Mama told me that I can't play any football. My brother, Jackie, was actually the coach of the Marine Cup team. And I thought I would have played Marine Cup. And some people still think to this day that I did, and I didn't. And when Mama stopped me and she said I had to improve my schoolwork, I decided in my head, well, all right, no football, no schoolwork. And I did not take another book to school after that. Wow. After that, I just shut down and said, well, I guess I was a bit of a rebel without a cause.
When your school performance started to wane and your mother would get upset and actually had a discussion with the priest at George's, he told her, you are not dance, you don't dance.
Yeah, he actually told her that I was the brightest bell.
Right.
And by this time, all my brothers went to George's. One was a head boy, so. But actually, I didn't believe that because even to this day, if there's a word as a preparer, I am a preparer. I prepare myself for everything, but I just didn't want to study. So the teacher would be there and I'd look at him and he'd say something and I said, tell me that again. And he says, write it down. They used to call us Mr. He said, write it down, Mr. Bell. I said, Father, tell me again. And he would tell me, and that was it. I just knew it. After that, I knew it. And even now, I will hear things and read things. You hear me always quote different people. I'll read it and it just stays here.
So you weren't a done student. You like to joke, I was a done. You weren't a done student. You were just deliberately not trying to do the school thing because you didn't like it.
I didn't like it. Plus, at St. George's, I did Latin. I mean, you just know, say, I wasn't going to look any work at all in my life. And somebody asked me anything in Latin. Some used to figure out, why am I doing Latin? Nobody now going to ask me that when I leave school, and nobody has, actually. So
eventually, when everything got to a head, you ended up in Canada at 17. Say the best thing that could have ever happened.
It's the greatest thing ever happened to me.
Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to prove to my mother, and I keep saying my mother, and my father was always there, but my mother was the driving force. I always wanted to prove to her that I was a man, that I could do things on my own. She never had to do this for me. And when I went to, this might surprise you, but my father was a little bit annoyed when I was going away because him kind of did feel say, send them or send me away, as opposed to me wanting to go away. And he refused to come to the airport. Everybody else did. And when I was passing him on the veranda, I got to the gate and I turned back and I whispered to him. And I said, when I come back, And he just looked at me and said, I know.
He knew.
Yeah, he just said, I know. And the night, my brother's friend picked me up in Toronto. And the night before I came out of that car, I asked them how I could get to stay. Before I got to the house where I was staying, I said, I can get to stay in Canada. And everybody looked at me and said, you're here for 2 weeks. And I said, no, man, how I can get to stay? And they told me. The very next day, I became a landed immigrant. And that's how I ended up staying.
The very next
day, I became a landed immigrant, which allowed you to stay, And then eventually I became a citizen.
At 17?
Well, 18, I think, yeah. I was
18.
But
but this is where your mind is at as an 18-year-old. So Canada is where you said you found yourself.
Yeah.
You found your manhood.
Yeah.
It was job, it was car, it was buying your first pieces of furniture. It was making a name in football, interestingly.
Yep.
Right? Because all the Bells played here in Jamaica, but you weren't really known for football here.
Not at the time.
Yeah.
And I eventually played youth football for Jamaica, but I played that because of a Bell.
Right.
I remember there was a team with my bigger brother, Howard, was supposed to go to Cuba. And it was around exam time. And like about a week, 2 weeks before, the principal said, they can't go. And literally, I remember this gentleman, Mr. George Prescott, who was the manager of the team, he literally just came to the gate and said, I want to play for Jamaica. And I said, what? And he said, come. And I went, I'm a left footer, midfielder. The coach put me outside right against the Army team. And I didn't even think I touched the ball. So I knew I wasn't going. So the next day when they named the squad, I was shocked when they called my name. I ended up not doing too badly on that tour.
Well, and the rest is history.
Yep.
But Canada now is where you hit ultimate manhood and became a father.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you say when you found out that you were going to become a father, it was like a badge of honor, almost like spite.
Yeah, man, like the lick my chest and say, yeah, man, man, a man, I go have youth and think. I didn't see it as a responsibility. And to this day, I regret that.
Because you bungled it.
I regret it. I mean, every single night I pray before I go to sleep. And you and other people keep telling me, stop it, man, move on from that. But I still ask the Father to forgive me for being just a jerk.
When you say jerk, you were young.
Yeah, but I mean, that's no excuse.
Is it that you knew better and you didn't do better, or did you?
No, I don't even know. This was my first child,
right.
And she was in Connecticut, which is 20 hours drive away. I'm in Toronto. And it's interesting because I don't know if it was done deliberately. I don't know if it was a state law, or I don't know if it was a United States law. But I was told that because I wasn't there when Nikki was born, she never had my name. And Nikki was never a Bell. So I don't know if it was them say, well, I'm not here, don't give him the name, or it was, I kind of heard that it may have been a law. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. But that bothered me because I wasn't there when she was born. But the one thing I will say about all my kids is I was always in touch. And I don't mean like once a month. I mean, a couple of times a week, 2, 3 times. Even now. It happens even now. I mean, Camila sent me a message not too long ago, you know. So even now it happens. But, yeah, but that still bothers me. That still bothers me. You said drop the ball. It was much worse than drop the ball. I mean, I was an absolute jerk. And some people, well, Nikki says, you know, she forgives me and stuff, and we've moved on.
So why you can't forgive yourself if Nikki forgives you?
You can't go back to a 10-year-old birthday, you know.
That's the point I'm making, Nev. So you have to accept that you weren't there. And if
I tell you a joke. I went to Nikki's high school graduation, and she actually wrote the prayer, the opening prayer, wrote it herself. And I mean, you know the story. So when she came out to receive her diploma, I started to cry. There was a lady sitting beside me, and the lady said, "You must be so proud." The reason I was crying, because who I saw on the stage, I had absolutely nothing to do with it. And that's why I cried. Okay, I just said, look at my daughter, nice and sweet, man. And I wasn't there, you know. So I remember when the lady said, "You must be so proud." I just looked at her and I didn't say anything. But it really bothered me. It really bothered me that, I know you.
Funny how you keep telling people that they have to forgive themselves for their past. And
Which is true.
on, but
Which is true.
You're stuck here. I think you need to, right?
Which is true.
Yeah, forgive yourself. Nikki's mom is the first love of your life and the woman you thought you were going to marry. Nev and marry in the same sentence. What?
Yeah, man.
When we come back, we talk about that and some other things with him. We'll be right back. Digging deeper with my friend, Nevilles, sitting in the chair with me. Before we went to break, we're talking about Carleen. Really Nikki, but Nikki's mom, Carleen, who was the love of your life from you were 12, 13?
12 years old.
12 years old. And you decided this was the woman you were going to marry.
Yeah, man, she used to live very close to us, and I would go to see her every single morning before I went to school. And as soon as I come back from school, I'd go straight here again. Yeah. She was, if I knew what love was or is, she's the first person I thought I genuinely loved.
And she's one of very few who you thought you could have ended up with committedly for a long time.
Yeah, man.
But you guys were involuntarily separated, and out of that relationship has come a lot of issues with trust, which to this day, even though that was how many years ago?
50.
Okay, great. I don't reach 50 yet.
More than that.
There is no secret that there are women in Jamaica who are like, I see you every day. Can you give Nev my number? Oh, Nev is so hot. Nev is so... I'm just joking. But you say, while you want companionship and love at this point in your life, you have no desire to get married?
No.
None?
No.
Because?
I actually didn't want to live with anyone.
You don't want to live with nobody?
No. I just, again, you know my story. I have a trust issue. And it's more than just about me. I mean, I've been around a long time, and it's what I see, what I know, what I hear. And it is difficult to think that, all right, I don't trust you, I don't trust you, I don't trust you. But you say, my girl, oh man, she's perfect. You know, it's difficult for me to go there. And it is unfair to other people. I've said before, this might sound strange, I just don't think I am capable of giving myself to anyone.
Fully?
Yeah, I don't think I'm capable.
Are you going to then that make you lonely? Like, are you going to be like lonely for the rest of your life?
I'm never lonely. I'm never lonely. Being alone and being lonely, I think, are two different things. And my friend Simon told me that I'm going to end up alone, you know?
Well, solitude and loneliness are two different. Solitude you choose.
Yeah.
But doesn't there come a point when solitude is just too solitude in us?
No. I mean, I don't want to end up in a tiny room with a television. That's not what I want.
With 2 posts.
Yeah. That's not what I want. But I just don't think I'm capable. And I think I'd be unfair to say, come sit, man, let's get into this. And then I say, I wonder if or not, you know. I genuinely don't think I have it in me.
So you want a relationship, but on your terms. So
I wouldn't even say on my terms, because that sounds like I'm going to tell people what I want. No, I mean, not necessarily on my terms. I want friendship. I want companionship. But companionship, in my opinion, is not you're moving in my house and every weekend you're with me and stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm not saying I only want to see you on Monday and Thursday. That's
Yes,
not what I'm saying,
well,
you know?
the schedule.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting that either because I'm not the only one in this. And probably one of the reasons I am alone is because people probably not go buy into what I want. And I have to just live with that. But I can't live with that.
Carlene was one pivotal moment in your life. Let's talk about some others. Some of them include loss. I remember the day in the radio studio many years ago when you walked into the radio studio. I was recording, and you walked in and you just collapsed into my arms. That day you had lost your mom. You say that was the day that you realized how much you loved her.
Yeah, man. Someone asked me a question that if I could speak to Mama now, what would I say?
It's okay.
And I said I would say I'm sorry. Because
What?
I think even though it was academic, I think I think I let her down. I think I let her down because Mama never had a plan B. You know, Mama just thought that and she probably was right, the way to get out of hardship and poverty was education. And it worked for her because, as you know, one brother went to Oxford and MIT. One brother went to Harvard. One went to New York University. My sister was the registrar at UA. And now
JDF.
will be Order of Distinction, you know. So, and almost every niece and nephew are teachers, or is, you know. So, is a teacher. So it worked for her. And I don't know if that's what I was fighting against, because I just never want to go there.
But you do recognize that she was proud of you?
She was proud of me in the end.
In the end.
And when I lived in Toronto, she would come up every now and again, and we would talk about things. And I remember telling her that the only things I remember as a youth is what hurt me.
Still?
Even though I remember one time we had some issues and I got stuck in Orchard, just couldn't come back to Kingston. It was some hurricane, must have catch me or something like that. Call home, phone wasn't working, and there was a gentleman living in front of us. Called there, collect call, and he refused to accept the call. And of course, the whole road here and everybody stopped talking to him and stuff. And I was on the veranda a couple of days after talking about it, and Mama came out and said, in my defense, she said, I'm not going to call the gentleman's name, but she said, I don't know why he didn't accept the call, because, I mean, everybody knows Neville is wayward. And when she said that, I kind of looked at her and said, Neville is wayward, what that mean? And I didn't know what it meant. And then when I found out what it meant, and I said, but she was defending me when she said that, so why would she say something like that? So I still remember that like it was yesterday. And I actually told her before she died, and she actually cried when I told her, and she says, you know, Mama never mean anything and stuff, but for some reason it just stick in my head that
she was the one who asked you to stay when Jackie passed. So Jackie's
I was here when
it
was the toughest day of my life when I found out that Jackie died. It was the first someone very close to me I would have lost. And when she asked me to stay, I kind of said, how long? And she said, 6 months for a year. I'm going to say, all right. And I've never been back. I decided to stay. And I think the greatest thing, as I said, ever happened to me is when I went. The second greatest thing ever happened to me is when I came back. Because in Toronto also at that time, I will use the word shaky. I was kind of getting a little shaky for different reasons. So when I had the opportunity to come home, I said, you know, maybe it's the best thing that she must just sit in a little bit. And,
How
and
did
it
you
worked.
process Jackie's passing?
Something went on with me a little while after Jackie died. And I wake up and there's a doctor with thing in my eye and all kind of thing. And I am almost knocked out. I mean, I just lost it. It was a little while after he died. And when the doctor left, my father came to me and he said, come here. He said, do like me. He said, Jackie don't dead. Jackie just not here. And I think to the day he died, he just never accepted that he lost his son. And there was something about that bothers me to this day, is that he was not around anyone who he knew or loved. And there was no one around him that loved him. So, I mean, he was in Mexico. He never had anyone around him. And I've always felt a little way that he died alone. And that still bothers me.
Guess who can relate to that?
I know. You can.
Soon come back. More with Nev after this. All right, folks, we are back with Nev, talking before the break about some pivotal moments in your life. Talks about Jackie and your mom. Not going to dwell, but I know losing Dominic was also very, very tough. And you say that's probably the toughest one you've had to deal with to date.
Yeah.
Because of how it happened?
Because of how it happened, because I
young.
just love Dominic so much. I mean, usually at Georgia, and he's the captain of the Georges team. And in a year and a half at Georges, I named him the captain of the team. He was just a very special young man. And it happened 20 yards in front of me.
Yeah.
And for a while, I wondered if I did push him too much and stuff like that. But it happened like 4 minutes into the game. And I don't know if there was anything I could do, but I want to mash me up. I want to mash me up.
Still, every day on his birthday, you get very...
Yeah, because his birthday and my son's birthday is the same date. You know, Kwame's birthday is the same date. So I remember when it happened that year, it happened like, 6 days before his birthday. And the morning I was on Smile, and I wanted to tell my son happy birthday, and I couldn't. Because I just thought it would have been unfair. But I get strength from his parents. I've never seen anybody strong side in my life. It was an only child for them, and you know, every time I think about it, I say, but if they are so strong, we may run up and down suffer, you know, but that one they kind of must go.
His parents are amazing. Denise is his mom. Go ahead, Laura. Turn on it.
Hey, Coach, you are very special to us. While Dominic Alessandro was under your coaching, you developed him further as a football player and as a young Jamaican. Thank you so much for your dedication and caring that are extended to everyone who crosses your path, but in particular, the young men for whom you are a role model and a father figure. Dominic had high respect for you and always spoke respectfully about you. In particular, he enjoyed your sense of humor and was always cracking up at your jokes. He appreciated the confidence you showed in his ability by placing him at central midfield and appointing him captain of the great STGC squad after just one season. We take this as your good judgment of character and skill and appreciate your affirmation of our son. You have been a blessing to our family in ways that you and we know. We love you, we respect you, and we honor you for who you are and what you do. Much love and blessings from David and Denise James.
Yeah, thought that was important for you to hear. You know, because they've told you, but I just thought it would be important.
Yeah, I love them dearly. And they're, as I said, I get strength from them because they're so strong. I can't imagine. I have 4 kids. I can't imagine losing anyone, but to have one, and you know, at 18 is something else.
As we talk through pivotal moments, this is not really lost, but I remember COVID was a tough time for you, no?
Yeah, because of my age. I was told that I couldn't come to work. And I actually wondered, I said, huh? Somebody said, well, if this thing will last for 5 years, let me do this, stay in my yard for 5 years. But I must say first that TVJ was very good to me. Everyone kept in touch. You guys would call me almost every morning during the show. But I got a little nervous, truth be told.
A lot nervous,
Yeah.
and still crazy.
Yeah, I got a little nervous because I'm not accustomed to not working, you know. I've been working forever, you know.
Did that bring into sharp focus areas of your life that, you know, like retirement and all these, did it make you think about just the bigger picture?
Yeah, you know, I don't think about retirement.
You don't?
But at the same time, I understand that sooner than later, I'm probably not going to have a job to go to every day. And now I can say I am certain. I was going to say I don't think, but I'm certain I'm not in a position right now that were I to stop working now and stop earning, that I think I would be comfortable for the rest of my life, however long that would be, hopefully forever. But that was most of my thoughts. And I said, well, so what happens if you don't go back to work? Where you get money from? And, and we have a loan and all kinds of stuff. So I thought about those things. But thank God it didn't last that long. And as you can see, I am back to where I always wanted to be.
You say thank God, which is interesting. You have on your cross. Before each program, you bless yourself. You blessed yourself before we started recording. Catholic, Anglican, but you identify now as Rasta? Do you? Or do you not assign yourself a religion?
No, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. But when I stopped combing my hair, it wasn't because of...
In Canada?
Yeah, it wasn't because of anything. I mean, them days we have Afrobeat, so. And I got up one morning and I just kind of go so in my hand, And I went to look for my godmother. And she said, you never come here. So I kind of looked in the mirror and I said, so how come nobody never said nothing to me? And she said, nobody no busy with you. Maybe they think it's a style. So I said, okay. So I said, nobody no busy with me, I comb it for. And I stopped combing it. So I was in the subway once, and I never had dreadlocks. I mean, my hair wasn't combed, I would more want to say that I didn't comb my hair for 7 years than to say I was a dreadlock for 7 years. So this Rasta man, I think, came on the subway and he said Rastafari, and I was reading a book and I kind of look at him and I just nod made. And he said, Rastafari. So I look, I nod made again. So he said, so yeah, I deal with Rasta. So he said, no, me just don't. No, men and people, and you have a responsibility. And he gave me the biggest thing. I couldn't wait for the subway stop. But interestingly, I listened. And then probably the week after, I was going by this bookstore and I saw this book on Rastafari. So I said, you know what? And I bought it. And I was kind of reading and I said, but that's how I live. I mean, Rastafari is a way of life. It's peace and love and, respect for humanity and stuff. And I said, no, me that. So then I started to say Rastafari. I could not and still can't put my hand around saying, Haile Selassie is God. And I think that's when I say, stop ball out this Rastafari, because there are certain things in Rastafari you don't want to offend anyone.
Right.
But I still believe I am Rastafari.
Gotcha.
But I believe in Jesus Christ. You say I make the sign of the cross. And as a little boy, and maybe I still do for some reason, I think this protects me for some strange reason. I have a tattoo of a cross right here.
You wear your cross in your ear.
And I wear a cross here. And every time I pass a homeless person, I make the sign of the cross. And that's my way of saying, and I used to say it, I don't say it anymore. So I'd pass someone and I go and say, God, look after them. But now as I see them, I just go like that. And I think God knows the reason I say it. But I genuinely think the cross protects me for some reason.
Well, one thing he's done is he's sent you some good people in your life, for sure. And so we are at that point in the show. For your good vibes, run it, Lori.
Greetings, Coach. I would just like to say on behalf of the St. George's College Manning Cup team and the St. George's College family, thank you for everything you've done for us over the years. We're really grateful and appreciative. Thank you for bettering us not only as players but as people as well. And I just want you to know that personally I really love and appreciate you for everything that you've done. And continue to be the best coach in the world.
Neville Bell, Coach, Chief, and it has been a privilege, it has been an honor, it has been a blessing having worked with you for so long. You've been a mentor, you've been a guide, you've been a friend, you've become a family friend, you are supportive, you're just a real individual who you're genuinely concerned about all those who you come in contact with. As a broadcaster, you are one of the best that exists. So I want to tell you thanks for that. I want to tell you thanks for the many messages, the many emails, the many talks that we've had, that you've given me tips and feedback on being a better producer and being a better on-air personality. And I just want to tell you thanks. And, hopefully one day I'll be able to follow more in your footsteps.
Coach Bertis Bell, I want to say enough big up, enough love, and lots of appreciation to the man who's helped me to transition back home when I returned to Jamaica back in 2015. The advice that you've given to me, the guidance that you've shown, it's been indeed a pleasure. And I don't think you understand how much you mean to my life and where I am now. It is indeed a testament that when I sit and I look at how far I've come, I can say, Coach Bell, played a significant role. And I think for the most part, you've been consistent. And that's why people love you so much. That's why people will go to the ends of the world to meet you. And I hope that you will realize and recognize that all this love that you receive is love that is much deserved. So I pray you to live long, healthy, and to just continue being the man that you are. Enough love, Coach.
I wanted to say how much I've cherished our friendship over the years. I remember the days when we were doing National Caribbean Premier League matches all over the country. Would drive for hours to Montego Bay, Clarendon, wherever. And during that period, you became the best friend I've had in my adult life, really. And I don't know many people who are as kind as you are, Bertis. And I must say that over the period that I've known you, I've seen you impact so many people's lives in a very positive way. And it's just amazing the way that you've conducted your life over the years. And I want to say also that I cherish the fact that you have never missed my birthday. Even the 15 years that I lived in Barbados, I could always depend on my birthday to hear from Neville Bell, my brethren, you know? So that is something I really cherish. I think you should also write a book on how to keep young, bro, because I don't know how you do it, but you're keeping young at this rate. You'll probably live till 200. Big respect for brother, you're the best.
A friendship is a masterpiece of nature. And our friendship is a masterpiece that can adorn any wall in any museum around the world. I enjoy his company immensely. We don't see each other as much as we did, obviously, when we worked together. But whenever I do see him, my eyes light up. In short, the man is my brethren, my bona fide, and always will be. Nothing will mash it up. Nothing at all. Him can't do anything to mash it up because it's my bona fide brethren.
Hey Neville, I just wanted to share a few words. From time to time I've told you how much I respect and I'm so proud of you. You have accomplished much. You have done it quietly, with humility, passionately, and with much joy. I admire your preparation. You put in so much effort. Your audience don't realize the ratio of input to your output. My dear brother, I just want you to know how much I appreciate what you do, how much I love you. And I just want you to continue the amazing journey you're on. Grace and peace to you, my dear brother.
You know, I love you. You're the greatest father in the whole world. I would never replace you. I look up to you. And the greatest thing I love about you is you're not just a father to me, but I know you're a father to many out there in the world. You've inspired a lot of people. You're one of the greatest soccer or football coaches ever in the world. I love you. The family loves you. Salute, Daddy. Rastafari. Blessed love.
You know, you are so special to me. I'm sure you know that. But today I wanted to say how much I love you. I wanted to say that, you know, you have a heart of gold and you've always been there for me. You've been my protector. You've been beside me through thick and thin, in good times and in bad times. And you've never failed to tell me that you love me, and that means a lot to me. It would mean a lot to any sister for a brother to always say, whenever we speak, you never end the conversation until you say, I love you, Bets. And that means the world to me. And you always ask after me, see how I'm doing, and that's just precious. Nev, you have a heart of gold. You're so loving, you're so caring, and you have just unique ways of showing it. So today I want to tell you that I love you very much. And I will always love you, and I will always treasure the times we have had together. We'll always treasure the conversations we have had. And, you know, I would just end by saying my special wish for you is that the Lord bless you and and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon you and grant you his peace. I love you, Nev.
Why you put in Simon?
Don't it? in talk of himself, though.
No, man.
Very,
My
very
gosh.
articulately.
Oh, wow. My
yeah.
son, Kwame?
I know Mila Rouge were trying to get very, very busy. Couldn't pin her down. But she did have a message that she wanted me to give to you. And it is that.
I miss you. And I love you. Hello, Daddy. Thank you, Simone. Hi.
Oh, gosh.
Yes. That was my message.
You know, we just
Yes.
divorced, right? You know, we just divorced, don't it?
No,
Eh?
you'll never get rid of me. Mm-mm. Yes. My
Camila.
message was, I miss you. And so,
When was
instead
the
of
last time you saw
continuing
him?
to miss you,
Saw him?
2019.
It's interesting, you know, that she sent me a message this morning.
Yeah.
And well, we speak almost every day, so I just took it for granted. She was in Toronto.
Yes, because you're supposed to. She and I have been talking since yesterday when she landed.
Sorry.
Not
sorry.
Have a seat, you know.
No, I'm a divorce. You
No,
are
he
no.
said
You
to me
will
during
never-
the break.
Yeah.
During the break, he was like, you know, Camila sent me a message this morning because she knew I was recording. Sent me a message that she loved me. And I'm going to hear it from her about 3 more times before the day done. I was in my mind, I'm thinking, you have
Yes.
no idea.
When you came to Jamaica,
I mean, I just got here 5 minutes ago. No, I'm just joking. I got here last night.
We feel very guy.
You have good friends. You have lots and lots, as you know now. You saw it.
Yeah, I
Lots
have-
and
I
lots
have-
of
and I have
people that
great-
love you.
I have great 3 kids.
Wow.
Me just lose one.
But 2019.
Yeah, she was
It's been
in Jamaica.
5 years since you
2019.
touched her and felt her.
Yeah, but we speak almost
Every
every day. We do video calls. I know what's going on with the kids and
Yeah.
everything. So she keeps me in touch with everything. I love you so
But
much.
still, I miss you. And so,
Oh, Camila.
instead of saying I miss you,
Camila.
Tell us about your dada.
I think everybody has told you about my dad. My dad is the greatest dad. I mean, yes, we speak every day, pretty much. A simple little message, you know, what's going on. But my dad is a dad that I know I can call if I have anything I want to say, I want to get off my chest. I feel like he feels the same way. He can call me anytime. I know I can trust him with anything. I know if I needed something, he would be there. The greatest dad.
You guys really do have a
The greatest
very
dad.
special relationship.
I have 4 kids, but she just enough.
Well, that's what the perfect one does, right?
I mean,
No, her name, by the way, her name Camila means the perfect one in Swahili, but she really keeps me informed with every single thing that goes on. And I think is the only person in my life, which is why I said I have 4 kids, but is the only person in my life that knows every single thing about me, Camila. What a surprise. That's a me hate you.
surprised.
Me hate you.
You better use up this time because you know you don't go up on airplanes. I
But
forgot
this
you're
is
not
it,
going after
right?
your
This
ear.
is it. And so I come or I continue to miss you.
I miss you so much. You can't do this to me, Camila, man. Don't listen to these people. We are my family,
These
not for
people
them
who love
one.
you.
So much for thanks him. It's okay.
No, this is absolutely amazing. This is absolutely amazing. Come here.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back, everybody. It's a love
God,
fest.
I cannot believe it.
Fest! I love a love fest.
You're the best.
Seriously, you better recognize.
You are the best.
Better recognize.
Thank you so much. No, sir. No, sir. I didn't. Well, you didn't give me a heart attack, right? That's the first thing.
All right, guys, we're back with the Till the show. I don't have no time because I'm and ball it out. So the only thing I'll ask you now before the affirmation is, where you are now in your life. How do you feel? Are you at peace? Are you settled? Are you anxious about anything, or are you good with where you stand?
No, man, I'm great. I give thanks.
Great.
I give thanks. Every morning when I wake up, I say, thank you, God. I read the daily word and I move on. I think I'm privileged. When I see some of my friends who not around me anymore, so many people, for whatever reason, not around us anymore. No, man, I give thanks. Some people say it can always be better, but I don't want to be ungrateful. I'm not one of those people who get up in the morning and say, well, I may have to go work this morning. I think that would be ungrateful. Right. That's where I earn, so no, I'm good.
What do you want to say to Jamaica? Jamaica loves you. What do you want to say to Boris? Said Holy Public people are bad with it today. I can just see them, right? I see you guys. What do you want to say to them?
Thanks. Thank you very, very much. I don't know why, but thank you very, very much. And I also want to say thank you to Zabir Taylor, that young man from St. George's College. We have this thing that, like Dominic, every time I see him, we hug, no matter what. I'll not cuss him and tell him, say, foolish this next man, and we hug. So, and all the folks who had those kind words. And this clown who nearly gave me a heart attack.
Can you please take her to dinner and don't make her pay?
Yes, thank you.
Just think about it.
Nah, go work.
Okay, listen, I'll tell you the truth. I actually came for food.
I hope you'll bring money.
Nev, I hope you know, I'm so glad you came, because finally I got a chance to give you your flowers. My goodness, it took every teeth pulled out of my head, but you're here. And it just, I hope you know today and feel today how much you are loved, how much you are appreciated, how much you are respected and admired, and what you bring to people's lives. Don't ever forget it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I've been trying to shake it for 30 years and it's not happening. So let's see what happens.
You can't do it all, folks.
All right, folks, it's time for our affirmation now. All right, so they say the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, but I would like to posit tonight that both the sum and the parts are equally great, right? Because without the parts, we are not whole. All of us are several different things, shaped by experiences that have defined who we are, missteps made from which we have taken lessons to make us better for the road ahead. So the trick is not to get stuck back where you made the mistake, but to move on, forgiving yourself, forgiving others who have wronged you, and allowing others not to suffer because of those who wronged you before, but to allow those who deserve a chance to step through your door. But at the end of it all, you have to look into you, knowing all decisions were based on to thine own self, you are true. Tonight we are affirming, to thine own self be true, because everybody else is taken. That is our soul food and our show for this evening. Thank you everybody for watching. We are back next week with another story of the power of the human spirit. Until then, every blessing, and please remember to count your blessings. Night, everybody.